What's up, family? It's your man Diamond K, and this is the Diamond K Show. Today we're talking about Vice President Kamala Harris's new book, 107 Days. This memoir is her unfiltered look at what really went down during those chaotic months that Joe Biden dropped out of the race and she became the Democratic nominee in 2024. Now, this isn't just a campaign diary. Harris is spilling frustrations with Biden, attempting to admit some campaign mistakes, and giving us a look at how fast politics can turn when the stakes are sky high. Let's break it down. The title, 107 Days, refers to the stretch between Biden's withdrawal in July and Election Day in November. Imagine that. Just over 3 months to pivot from being vice president to becoming the top of the ticket. Harris calls it a sprint and a survival test rolled into one. She gives us blow by blow of debates, campaign stops, strategy sessions, and also her private doubts, family moments, and yes, some big disagreements inside the Democratic Party. One of the most talked about parts of the book is her tension with Joe Biden and his team. She flat out says Biden staying in the race as long as he did was reckless. I agree. She paints a picture of a president who couldn't see his own limits while she and others had to pick up the pieces. She also shares some heated behind-the-scene exchanges, like Biden accusing her of bad-mouthing him to donors right before a debate. That kind of friction shows us how fragile the so-called unity was at the top. But here's the thing. She doesn't throw Biden completely under the bus. Harris makes a distinction. Biden could govern, but he couldn't campaign. That's her way of being critical without going nuclear. Now, Harris does admit to some mistakes. She says that her comments on The View were a big miscalculation and cost her valuable momentum. She admits her team struggled with balance, distancing herself from Biden's baggage while still trying to keep the party together. But let's be real. Critics are already saying she puts more blame on others than herself. And that's a fair point. You hear a lot about Biden's team this, Biden's team that, Democratic disloyalty, but less about what she could have done better. Another bombshell. Her first pick for VP wasn't Tim Walz. She actually wanted Pete Buttigieg. But she says she's worried that a ticket with a black woman and a gay man might be too risky politically. We live in America. It's 2025, and she's absolutely right. That's real talk. And also a window into how cautious campaigns still are when it comes to representation. She chose Walz, but later in the book, she's clearly frustrated with his debate performance and how he handled tough questions. Translation, she had doubts about her own VP pick. What makes this book more than politics is when Harris lets her guard down. And frankly, I think that it's the best representation of herself when she is candid like this. I've seen her do interviews with Rachel Maddow and Joyanne Reed, and the version that she shows during those kind of interviews with her guards down a little bit more, it's a better representation. But in the book, she writes about arguing with Doug, her husband, right before her birthday, near the end of the campaign. She admits the toll it took on her marriage, her energy, and her sanity. She even talks about working with voice coaches, using animal sounds to train her tone for speeches. That might sound funny, but it shows the pressure that Kamala felt to get every little thing right. Harris also calls out fellow Democrats. She writes about trying to reach Gavin Newsom, the governor of California, after Biden dropped out. And dude texts her back saying, hiking, we'll call later. And according to her, he never did. And that's wild. And so there are a lot of things like that. She's also not shy about pointing fingers at people in her own party who she says did not support her when it mattered. That can be risky because it gives us the drama for the book, but it also deepens rifts inside the Democratic family. And what does this mean about a potential return to politics or the campaign trail, which I think this book is setting up? Now, how is the book landing? Reviews are mixed. Some say it is refreshing, candid, even brave. Others say it's petty and too focused on grievances. Sports analyst and I guess we can call him a political analyst, Stephen A. Smith, asked, who cares what Kamala has to say? Which shows you how divided the reaction is. Politically, this book does two things. First, it puts Harris back in the spotlight, reclaiming her own story. Second, it signals she's not going anywhere. She might say she's not running in 2028, but trust me, this book is positioning. She wants people to see her as independent, resilient, and still in the fight. At the end of the day, 107 days is messy, it's raw, but it's also human, just like politics itself. Kamala Harris is showing us the cracks in the Democratic machine while also defending her legacy. Whether you agree with her or not, the book forces us to think about what kind of leadership we want moving forward. That's the breakdown. You're listening to The Diamond K Show, where we talk about politics, culture, entertainment, and everything in between. Hit that follow button. Let me know what you think. Is Kamala Harris' book as a powerful memoir that I think it is, or is she just finger pointing? Until next time, stay informed, stay engaged, and I will catch you on the next one. As always, on all social media, I am at The Diamond K Show. Of course, at On Fire Broadcasting, onfirebroadcasting.com. Anywhere you get your podcast, just search for The Diamond K Show, and I will see you next time.